welcome to another review of a book of painting instructions. This one is the Painting Miniatures from A to Z Masterclass Volume 1 by Angels Giraldez. I believe that's how it's pronounced in Spanish. If you know his name, it's because he is the staff painter for Corvus Belli and the Infinity range, though he's also done work for other companies. And this miniature you see on the cover is of course an Infinity miniature, and all the figures in the book are Infinity related. They are either miniatures you can buy for Infinity or conversions of existing miniatures, or in a couple of cases busts that he had sculpted specifically for himself and for purposes of instruction for this book. The contents are about 100 pages of actual instructions and some extra pages of galleries of, some more models painted up. The price, I'm not sure. I forgot what I paid for it. This was a limited edition. I'm not sure you can still get it. If you can, and if you want it, you will probably pay whatever it costs. Again, of these 100 pages, about, 14 covered general techniques. And the rest are tutorials for specific minis. Either, as I said, converted minis or busts, or normal minis, or in some cases small dioramas. And you can see the contents here. Now, the thing about this book that you need to realize is that the name is actually accurate. It is a masterclass. If you're not familiar with the term masterclass, what it means in any artistic form of teaching, a masterclass is a class you take that presumes a high level of competence already. You don't take a masterclass if you're a beginner. When you sign up for a masterclass, you are saying, I am an advanced student. And you better be, if you want to get some use out of this book. I mean, I suppose the beginner can pick up a few things, but my point is that Angel does not actually spend any time at all talking about basic techniques. He has one picture of basic techniques here where he just explains what a highlight and the shade is, which seems sort of redundant. I assume anybody who picks this book up knows what a highlight and a shade is. Going on, he has some more specific tips, which are useful. Some of them I don't care about. He has a sort of very, very quick tutorial about non-metallic metal. Then he goes over the more specific techniques that are unique to his style of painting, the techniques he often uses to get his effects. These are stippling and washing and something he calls points of light, which is a technique done with an airbrush to add certain extreme highlights here and there on a model. And also glazes. After that, he goes straight into the tutorials for the specific minis. You will get the most out of this if you have a lot of knowledge already about painting techniques, and if you can read between the lines and figure out what it is he's doing in many of the examples. The other thing to note is that he has a mixed technique. He uses a mix of airbrush and paintbrush. Now, I suspect you're getting more out of this book if you use the same techniques yourself. Now, for me personally, I don't own an airbrush, and I'm not going to get one. Mostly for practical reasons. There is no way I can have an airbrush set up in my apartment where I live. But in any case, if I want to try to copy some of these tutorials, then I will have to try to adapt to doing the things he does with an airbrush with a normal brush, which is not impossible. It's slightly more tedious, but you can do sort of the same thing usually with glazes. But in any way, you will get the most mileage out of this if you use both airbrush and paintbrush. You will also get the most mileage out of it if you are interested in painting infinity miniatures, specifically if you're interested in painting these exact minis that he has in the book. This is, by the way, is an example of a bust. You can't buy this. This is simply he had this specially made so that he could demonstrate the techniques in a larger scale. His idea is that you should be able to apply these same techniques for painting the face and hair on a 28mm miniature. You can just scale it down, and he did it this way because it photographs better. I'm not sure that I believe that. I mean, I would not paint eyes this carefully on any 28mm miniature. But anyway. So, to me personally, the utility of this is slightly limited because, as I said, I don't use an airbrush. I'm not sure I'm going to paint any infinity miniatures anytime soon. I only own one, the one that came with the book. But it does provide some ideas for sci-fi miniatures in general, and there's various tips and tricks I can pick up here. So my conclusion is that this is a book which has a very specific function, specific purpose. And you need to know what that purpose is before you go in there and buy this book. If you know what you're getting into, then this is surely worth your money. As for me, you know, I can only use parts of it, but hey, I collect these instruction books anyway, so to me it's money well spent anyway. I hope this review gave you some information about what to expect from this book and whether it's for you. Please let me know if you have any suggestions for what I should have mentioned in this review. And I'll just close here, and until next video, Dakian signs off.